All right. So peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. Thank y'all for tuning in to this discussion. We're going to have tonight. I have a special guest. I hope he can make it. Malik Spellman from LA. He is a, community activist that talks about the gang culture and how he created peace and truce throughout the LA streets. So he's not on yet, but hopefully he'll come on. But I'll certainly thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like and share this video. But just to give you a little preview of this guy, I'm gonna show you a little clip. It is him, MC8. If you know MC8 from LA, he was a rapper and he also played in Menace to Society. This is a little clip of him talking about some of the issues that permeate the Black community real quick. I'm gonna play this and hopefully it'll give you some insight onto who he is.
On two fronts, and you guys made some very valid points. Of course, we were raised by OGs and not IG. That's the first thing.
Definitely.
Then the second thing is sometimes we have to really point the finger at the hidden hand, the person that hidden and hide the hand. And some of the problems of Black people today coming from the greatness that we came, because they only talk to us about our shortcomings, slavery, getting your ass whooped, we took your shit. But our history and our greatness supersedes civilization. After God, then he put us. Then he put the sun, moon, and stars and told them to bow down to the Black man. So because our children know there's something deep in their psyche tells them that they're royal, that they deserve better, that they've been robbed, that's your shit, that you can't get to it, that the homie down the block balling. It's deep in your psyche that's telling you, I'm not supposed to be poor. Because poverty is, they say in the Quran that poverty is worse than death. It's best to murder a man than to leave him in poverty. You dig what I'm saying? So when you get these type of situations where these kids is sitting back and they saying, my daddy died defeated, my grandma died defeated, but Bob at Bobby Hills High School, that punk motherfucker, he don't do shit, got everything. I'm gonna rebel like the slaves did with Nat Turner. So that's a rebellion. That's America's fault. That's Biden's fault. Biden, you should have never locked up their daddy, you and Bill Clinton, with 3 strikes. Kamala Harris, you still got some of my homies doing 75 years of life in the feds right now where you up there smiling with that motherfucking oppressor and our people dying on their feet. Okay? So we can't just look at the kids because the kids are the ones they're going to throw out there to say, that's the problem.
All right. So, that's the brother. Okay, so here he is actually. So he is definitely on. Peace, my brother.
Peace, man, and I'm so apologetic, man. I got caught up in that traffic in LA. Is not nice, man. So thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. So we already live. I didn't get a chance to get with you beforehand, but I just showed a little clip, and it was you. I think it was MC8 and another brother. He was dressed in all red.
Yeah, excuse me for 1 second. Yeah, that was when I was on the show called Gangster Chronicles.
Yeah, Gangster Chronicles. And it was a little clip about you talking, about, I guess, the hidden hand behind what we see. But now that I got you on, I don't need to introduce you. Introduce yourself to the people and, who you are and what you do.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Of course, I want to thank you and your listening audience for allowing me the opportunity to come on the show and to be a part of your broadcast. And of course, some of us may know my name is Malik Spellman. I live in LA. I'm a community activist / news reporter. And I primarily focus on gang violence and poverty amongst Black people throughout the United States.
All right, so how did you get into this work? Before we get into who you are and how you came to get into this work, how did you get into this work? As being someone who promotes peace and is very connected, to bettering the community?
Well, I think that's a great question. I moved out here when I was 15 from New York City. And of course, I'm bi-coastal. And by me having friends from different sides, Crips and Bloods, growing up on that east side of South Central Los Angeles, the infamous South Central, the real deal Holyfield, then, I started seeing my friends on both sides dying. So I was cool with Crips, Bloods, Mexicans, a couple of white boys that was in the community, if there was some, so we didn't have that. We didn't have that disunity when I grew up on the east side. The east side was the east side. You know what I'm saying? Like the south side of Chicago is the south side. We didn't have any cliques and sections, although they had gangs, the East Coast Crips, the Swans, the Avalons, the Main Streets, people of that nature, the Broadways, all up and down there. They had those cliques. But for the most part, man, I just got in by the way of my friends was dying. And then when they sent me to prison, I didn't understand the dynamics of gangs coming from New York. We had gangs in New York, but not at the magnitude or should I say, the level of violence that they have here in California. And 1992 came, the 1992 gang troops came, and I've been there front and center ever since on the front line with my brothers out of Watts, man. And, they just put me on. It's like, look, man, you're going to be our national spokesperson. We was going up into Jim Brown's house. And I've done over 200 truces since then, probably, or just, stop the violence. I've been to 350 gang-related funerals. I've been at funerals we buried babies this big, me and my brother Khalil, you know what I'm saying, and loot like shoe boxes. So I just wanted to bring some attention to this on your show, let you know that the work that we're doing, especially you, because your show is to save more lives than a cure for cancer. But the work that we're doing, speaking collectively, is important, man. And we don't need these youngsters in North Carolina, New York, Arkansas, Alabama, all these little Bible Belt joints. We don't need y'all getting involved in this, man. We done had over 15,000 plus people murdered in the city of Los Angeles, even this young man behind me, Nipsey Hussle.
And so you mentioned a little bit in that clip, about the youth and what they see and, the innate nature to be something better. How does, that contribute to, kind of what we see? Like, so what do you tell a young man, who grow up in South Central or, South side of Chicago, who grows up around that? What do you tell a man to, to stay away from it? How do you get it?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, how do you get them to, avoid that when that's all they kind of see?
Well, one way, like they teach us in all these different institutions, when you find a dirty glass, you put a clean one beside it. And the worst thing that you can do to a youngster is to come and point your finger, because when you point one finger, it's four fingers pointing at you. So when you come in, you got to encourage them youngsters. You can't talk down to them. You can't be disrespectful to them, like you stupid, or calling them YNs or challenging them. You got to come with like that fatherly love, God first, but you got to come with that real concern, man. And what I do sometimes, I just call them youngster. You'd be surprised what happens. You say, youngster, come here for a second. Let me holler at you. So what you do, you get three youngsters. You get a shooter, his right hand man, and then you get a wannabe that's underneath the right hand man, and you empower them to make sure that the kids get home safe on safe passage from school. Make sure the other little homies ain't hanging on the corner, making them go to school. You empower them kids, man. If they take a few dollars to chip in and get the leader to just regulate something other than that, they've lost, because every time they see how people suffer from active traumatic stress disorder, whereas military soldiers and others suffer from PTSD, but we got active traumatic stress disorder, meaning that if a veteran, he can go get help at the veterans hospital, but a brother in the streets like us, Pookie and them, they don't get that same help. So as soon as they do get a little bit of help, they turn the corner, and then little woo woo done got killed, or the crime scene is still there, or the pain is still in the family. So the fact of the matter that a lot of these brothers you see that still gang banging or participating in an overwhelming amount of violence, they're no different than a Vietnam veteran who think the war is still going on, and it's not. The war is over. But in his mind, the war is still going on. And then what happens is the word gang is the word they use to justify putting a stamp on the check to get the money, to get more police cars, to get more laws put in place and to hand your ass more time. So that word gang just justifies poverty being placed on a group of people that didn't really have no alternative way out. The curriculums in school is bullshit. There's no high-rise financial institutions in our communities. And then there's no role models. And then they say the black father's not there, but that's not true. Y'all put the black father out in the 60s and the 70s with welfare. Because you could have a man in your house if you got welfare. That was not allowed. So they perpetuated itself, and the brothers just getting sent to prison, the prison industrial complex. So what you say to them youngsters, man, you got to really pull them to the side and have a man-to-man with them. Because they're born void without love, void without understanding. And I say to myself, where are your parents? No one has parents anymore. Apparently they don't. Because if they did, we wouldn't have this. It's not on the father. Yeah, we got a lot of single mothers doing their best in this messed up world. I get that. And I'm with that. Regardless of the circumstances, whether you didn't get along or whatever, the hardest thing in the world to do, and I'm speaking from a black man, is to be a black couple. So I understand that. But you can't come in pointing your finger if you're going to fight for the people. You got to have thick skin and ride it all out. If you don't ride it all out, you're in the wrong lane, pimp.
And you mentioned earlier that you went to prison. How long did you do?
I did 7 years.
7 years. So was that your turning point when you got out, or how hard? Because I listened to a little bit of your story, how you came here. You came to LA when you was 15, right?
Yes, sir.
And then recap that story about how you helped the guy, and then the guy's brother was right there in South Central, and he happened to be a very influential figure there.
You may or may not have missed your calling, but you're a hell of a journalist because you do your homework. I don't know where you got that story from, but you did your homework. And let me shut my front door, please. Give me a second.
Yeah, you all right. And I appreciate y'all in the chat, man. If y'all could share this video, like it. If you have not already, subscribe. But I appreciate y'all for joining us tonight.
Yeah, so I came out here from New York because they sent my mother to prison. And I was living in abandoned buildings in New York, me and my brother. And Romanian buddy was a migrant, consequently. So it was freezing in New York. So he said, yo, man, when I tap on the pipe in the morning, I want you to go down to the Port Authority. They used to call it on Port Authority bus station on 42nd in Manhattan and get these tickets to go to Cali. I'm like, okay, because I'm homeless. I'm young. I'm fresh out of high school. We graduate early out there. So consequently, we get to LA. But before we get in, we get to the border. He gets stopped and took off the bus and by the border people. By the time I get to LA, they had let him go with a summons or something, and he met me in LA. We standing on the corner. I did not know that he had stole some drugs from some people in New York. I was wondering where he got the money for us to travel. We listened to Bob Marley and ate peanuts all the way here. Eat, no vegetables, all peanuts and Bob Marley. He's Panamanian, an angel actually. And I got to 73rd and Broadway, and when I got to the bus station, I told the cabman, take me to the black community. So he took me to 73rd and Broadway, which is in South Central off of Florence. And then when I went to pay the dude, he said, nah, and he drove off. And he said, good luck. I was like, good luck. I didn't know he had dropped me off in hell because I'd have stayed in the car. My Panamanian buddy had met me there. So long story short, my Panamanian buddy got some cocaine. This is when I realized he had some cocaine that he stole from somebody that we knew. I had absolutely nothing to do with it because I don't steal like that. I'm not that type of person. And dude said, man, y'all got some power. We tried to sell this brother named Carl some. So we sold him some. And as soon as he sniffed it, he said, man, y'all from New York. They don't have this dope out here. Okay, cool. So the next day, we still out on that same corner. We don't know nobody. I got a leather suit, no other clothes, socks, drawers, nothing. I got a 2-piece leather suit. It's 100 degrees in Cali. He came back. He was like, yo, man, my brother said that to bring you up. I said, your brother? I don't know I just got here, dude. I don't know your brother. But consequently, long story short, when we had a layover in San Diego, my Panamanian buddy knew a dude who lived in San Diego. We went to his house. And the guy I'm talking about was laying on the couch, stabbed up. And before I left, I said, man, you got your jewelry? He had a gang of jewelry on. You got your money? He had diamonds and everything. Because I didn't want to get accused of stealing from the brother when we left. We was the last two there. The other dude wasn't there. And he, sedated. I got it. We get to LA. Dude said, my brother want to meet me. Why we go up there and it's him? He the king of PCP. See, that's what good karma do for you when you do right by people. Now, had I did that man low, Man, we in San Diego. This is LA. Had I did that man low, they'd have knocked our heads off, dude. So you know that's why I tell these youngsters, be careful what you do, because the new religion now is called karma. What goes around comes around. And consequently, dude made me his right-hand man. I done been in explosions, cooking PCP, killing my people, shootouts, all kinds of shit, man. So that's why I come on your show, and I was eager to come on and let you know, man. Let them people out there know y'all ain't ready for these burials. Y'all ain't ready for them 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls with the police at the door talking about your baby done been murdered. You ain't ready for that, man. Don't even get yourself in there. It don't make you a punk not to want to kill God's people. No disrespect to those who think that's a disrespectful word, but where I come from, man, that's a figure of speech. But it don't make you no buster to want to do something right with your life, man. Because half of my homies that did, if I added up all my homies right now, it would come to up to over 10,000 years in prison sentences. One of my homies just got out from doing 2 lives in like 97 years. Football numbers. So I felt the need and the desire to kind of self-invite myself into your show, which is an open policy, open door thing for the community. But I must tell your listening audience, man, pay attention to your children. When you see them come on with the year they was born on their leg or something, you know, they put that on so if they get killed in the streets, they can identify the body. We got kids in Compton that they putting tourniquets in their bags. The brother that teach them how to become paramedics. So if they get shot, one of them know what to do. We can't live like that. That don't make you cool listening to serial killer music and then reacting to it. That does not make you cool. It makes you a victim of your own circumstance. And we're not blaming you. And this is not an indictment. This is an enlightenment. So get hold of your babies. When you see them wearing certain hats that represent certain things, or they too turned up, or they got 2 cups in the house, or your daughter, she acting different and somebody got under mind control, check yourself, man, and check your babies. If not, that you're going to become a mother of murdered children, a father of murdered children, and it'll come to a theater near you. I've been to 350 gang-related funerals. I stood on the other side of the fence and watched little Nipsey Hussle, our ancestor, rest in peace. I got the video on my phone. On the ground. I remember Nipsey Hussle was a little bitty skinny dude selling his tapes on the street. All them brothers, Big U, Cowboy, Nipsey Hussle, all them dudes, man, we a product of South Central, man, in a certain section. And this shit is serious. Y'all do not want this gang activity on your resume. I don't care how tough you are. And another thing, try to get an understanding with each other. You don't do no peace treaties because kids nowadays born in wartime, so they don't know nothing about no peace. So you got to get an understanding. You stay on your side, I stay on my side. You don't write on my walls, I don't write on your walls. When you see me in traffic, you give me a pass. When I see you in traffic, I give you a pass. Before you pick up a gun, pick up a phone. Get an understanding. Stop killing your own people, man, because you still got to answer to God. There is a God. So stop letting them fool you, man. You know, it pissed me off when they took prayer out of school, but then, unfortunately, when the schools get shot up, they out front praying. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, that's
You
backwards.
took prayer out of school and the Pledge of Allegiance, and then when the school gets shot up, unfortunately, we in a circle praying outside. What are we doing?
True. So what, like, so you say you orchestrated over 200 truces. How did you do that? You know, how did you bring guys
Truces, because
together?
there was only one gang truce. You know, conflict, should I say? Let me stand.
Okay.
You know, and the way you do it is you just go in the front line. See, the gang intervention they're doing now, the work was already done when they got here. When we was doing it, we didn't deal with gang members. It's a big difference. Anybody can be a member of the YMCA. Anybody can be a member of the motorcycle club. Anybody can be a member of the Masonic Lodge. But are you the Grand Poobah 33 and a third? Are you one of them dudes? So in gangbanging, I didn't deal with gang members because they're just a product of their environment. So if you live on this street, I wrote an article for the Los Angeles Sentinel I used to be a writer for called Mama, Why Did You Move on This Block? Because whatever street you move on, that's the gang you pick for your child. So if you come here from New Jersey and move to LA and see all these palm trees and Rolls Royces and all that, you think you in paradise, but you just landed in the waiting room to hell, the petri dish for gang violence. So you got to know that it's dual responsibility when it comes to this parenting thing, man. And you can't beat your kids up from the communication, screaming at them. And the worst thing, and I hate to see, is that slave shit when they be beating their kids and slapping them and punching them in the chest and threatening them. Stop that. That's slave mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Get to understand it, because they're gonna take it out in the public on somebody else, especially if you're raising young men. Excuse me, not raised because you raise chickens. If you're rearing young men and women, you got to make sure that what you put on them, they don't disseminate to the community, verbally and physically. So
That's
I did a
true.
bunch of conflict resolutions of some of the most notorious gangs in LA. And what I'm saying is, I didn't deal with gang members, I dealt with serial killers. Because the cats I talked to had 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 murders. That's not a gang member. There's only a few people in the gang that's putting in work. The rest is either scared, compliant, or just part of it. Everybody ain't putting in work. Like my boy Mustafa, rest in peace, said, everybody ain't built for this. This is not a game. This is not a tourist attraction, and you're not a tourist. What city is your station located out of?
I'm in Goldsboro, North Carolina. We got a gang problem, as they call it.
Okay, well, you need to tell everybody in gangs wherever. I grew up in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, Tar Heel, North Carolina State. My mama grew up there. I went to the school out there. You tell them brothers and sisters out there, y'all better get an understanding, because this insidious disease called killing your people is not fly. And people in LA ain't really doing that. Like, when we get down, this is the worst place on earth. But they got a little bit of consciousness here. Y'all don't want that, gangs. You don't want that. Stop trying to act like LA and Chicago. You're not ready for this. So they're running around hoopline and pulling out your straps. Them white folks will give your ass to today, tonight, and the rest of tomorrow. So when you sit in them cells, ain't nobody gonna stay down with you, pimp. Hey, gangster, the only bitch that ever stood up for you in prison is the Statue of Liberty, and she cracking up. So ain't no bro gonna stay down with you. Her arm stayed up for 400 years, nigga. They had to knock it down. You gonna miss your mama, your grandmama passing, your sister having a baby, your nephew going to college. You gonna miss all that. And them dudes in the streets ain't gonna do nothing for you. And they gonna go up in your girl. And they might rat on you. So you ain't gotta listen to Malik. I've been to 300 plus gang-related funerals where they done shot him up, kicked over the casket, and name it. Name it. So you can get deep in if you want to. Not to mention all the people we got in wheelchairs and one arm and eye missing and head. Come on, man. And the little kids that's getting hurt, and then they losing their fathers and their uncles, and how you gonna explain that to them? You being cool is that important. Listen, I'm not screaming on you. I'm leaning on you. So the hoods out there in North Carolina, man, y'all get together like, nah, man, we need to step to the city and get some of that general fund so we can get some intervention jobs going. We need to step to the city so we get that medical marijuana license going in the black community for generational wealth. Y'all got to tap in or tap out, because you stand on it and not around it, man. And the youngsters that y'all got now is sharp. They ain't stupid. They super sharp. But it takes somebody like you and your show and your audience to enlighten them, man. I'm 60 plus. I don't know how much longer God gonna let me be here, but as long as I'm here, I'm gonna pipe this truth. And for 40 years, I did it for free. So show them how to get their nonprofit so they can go get some of that money so they can get the little homies in the hood some construction jobs and farming jobs and get that medical marijuana license and get some bread, man.
Definitely.
Stop babies die by the wayside because you done got your shit together so you don't care no more. Because behind every youngster that's out there doing something stupid, it's a big overgrown idiot behind him telling him that he's great. Somebody here, OG. No, OG only mean old and gone, fool. And stop sending them youngsters out there on your struggle. To you old cats out there in North Carolina that's sending them youngsters. Stop it, man. You ain't sending your son. And knowing that it's a government trap. And the only one gonna make some money is the mortuary, the police, and the jailhouse. And Medea gonna cry.
That's definitely true. Yeah. And so what about the overall culture though? You know, the overall culture that, you know, promotes it. Like you said, I think you mentioned serial killer music. Serial killer music. The overall hidden hand, as you put it in the video. How can we combat that?
Well, one of the ways that we can combat it is to go on the front line. Because see, y'all got that red dirt tar blood, y'all, from North Carolina. And it's not hard to do. Y'all got agricultural skills, universities, and you got a lot of family. And you gotta combat it, man, right away. And you gotta take charge of it in such a way like you somebody's father. Because if you don't approach it like a parent, then you wasting your time. So you gotta approach it like a parent, man. And if you don't approach it like a parent, hold on one second, man. Hold on.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you haven't liked the video,
So I raised these Malinois, so they crazy, man. I had to go shut the kennel down. Forgive me, right? Yeah, these is not dogs. These are human beings.
I heard of them.
Like this. Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, man. Give them kids. Them kids got a lot of talent, man, and they want to express their talent. But if you steady putting them that you tough and that you hard and you a gangster, no, put him that he's a doctor, he's a lawyer. Get a couple of them to make him radiologists. Show them how to get some money where they can get a gun without having to steal one. Where they can get a gun legally. North Carolina love giving you a pistol. Show them how to get a car where they ain't got to go steal one from CarMax or something. Life skills, man, it's our responsibility. Like I tell people all the time, a journey of 1,000,000 miles don't begin with one step, it begins with one thought.
Okay.
So you get 10 youngsters, and you take them 10 youngsters, and you show I'm gonna show you how to get you a bank account, show you how to get you a job. Because don't nothing beat a gun like a job. I've never seen a man get off work and go do a drive-by.
True. So it's economic empowerment.
It's called financial literacy. Economic empowerment will be like PPP, a distraction. It'll be a distraction and it'll be destructive. You have to teach them financial responsibility. How to save $40 a day to get to have your rent at the end of the month. How to get a savings bond, how to buy land for $200 down and $200 a month. Because a man or woman with no land has no voice. How to plant them peaches and oranges and taking advantage of the real bread. Because they don't put nothing in the ghetto but pistols, diseases, and airports. That's it. So y'all, intellectuals like you, got to step up, get 4 or 5 brothers like you, and then go to the wildest youngsters that you can find in your neighborhood. The gamblers, the flockers, the real ones, and holler at them. And don't go in there talking about peace. They don't want to hear that. That was my era. You go in there talking about, man, we got to get to some money. Then help them get their diplomas back. And then the little girls, half of these little girls ain't never had matching panties and bra. So y'all need to get them nonprofits so y'all can solicit Victoria's Secret and all the people that make money off of poor folks. And tell them to donate, man. Half of them little girls ain't never had good clean sheets and towels and female products. So get some of the women to start the Black Girl Scouts or something and round them up. Teach them how to put a dime between their legs and keep their legs closed. You got a lot of work to do that's small that you can do because the church can't do it all.
So what role does the church play? The church and the mosque play
the role that they playing. The role that they playing. See, every atom shall do what it's supposed to do at its appointed time. Nothing happens coincidentally. So at this point, we don't give a fuck what nobody else is doing. What we doing. Church, do what you do. Mosque, do what you do. But what me and you gonna do? Like I tell this dude once before, he said, man, fuck you, Malik, and I'm gonna do this, fuck you, and I'm gonna whoop. I said, yeah. And I'm from over there. I said, man, God bless your homies. I love them. But God bless the nigga that's gonna kill your ass. So fuck what your homies gonna do. What you gonna do? Because when they catch you at that bowling alley and that hookah lounge and you ain't with your homies, they don't want to hear that. They don't. What you gonna do when they stomping you out? You got to get outside with 4 or 5 reputables and don't go in there pointing your finger at them babies. Ask for their permission. Ask them what they want to do. Man, what's y'all plan? What y'all think y'all plan is to get up out of this shit? Then you go to that city councilman, like, look here, man, come here, man. I need 100 jobs, playboy. And don't take no for an answer. And be stomped down to the socks. Some of them trucking jobs, some of them damn jobs in the radiation, in them hospitals. You got to get a few. You get one or two of the real shooters to give them a job, the rest gonna follow. Get the real ones that's the real thuggers and the real job. They gonna follow. Or with the hottest car, they gonna follow. Who got the best weed? Go talk to the weed man. He know what to do. This is just raw wisdom, man. Forgive me, my opinion and my perspective does not reflect that of this show, Rich, or his sponsors. I'll take a disclaimer.
You are.
Rich, I'm sharper than you think.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, now I know. So man, I definitely appreciate the wisdom, man. It's a whole, you know, plethora of ways to get it done. And you know, you brought out some very, very good points. And it starts with the youth. You know, it starts with the young. But you know what I realize sometimes when dealing with some of the youth, I grab up and, you know, I take them and I try to teach them things, and I take them out and show them different things. But then I bring them right back to the environment, and then everything that I told them not to do and not to say and how to act, their parents come to the door and they tear it all down. They call them and they talk to them just like I told them not to talk to them. So, you know, that kind of got me discouraged for a while, because I'm like, I'm taking them out of the environment. I'm teaching them things, but when they go right back to that environment, it's like everything I said don't hold no weight for those 2 or 3 hours a week, or, you know, 6 hours a month, or however long it be, and into that 24 hours a day environment that you know, they got to deal with on a daily basis.
Well, that goes back to the original conversation. They got active traumatic stress disorder. You just stated it unequivocally and so eloquently. They get back home and they back in the trauma. Ain't no food in there. They arguing over the juice in the refrigerator. Who slept in my bed? Who touched my car? Where my shirt at? It's the whole divide and conquer Jim Crow kit. The making of a nigga. You have to get them sisters to show them how to clean up their house first. The sink, the toilet, clothes all over the place, because that's stress and poverty. And then they all trying to find a man. And then the man trying to find himself. And little do you know, it took me 50 plus years to become a man. So I don't expect no youngster to get it in 6 hours or 6 months. Mm-hmm. And if you're not in this for the long haul, see, like Nipsey Hussle say, the marathon continues. But the marathon go like this. You got a lot of people that's in the marathon from all walks of life, races and everything. But some is going to be in the marathon. They're going to be running, getting bandages, stopping, taking breaks, getting cups of water, yada, 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 running with dolls, family members hollering and screaming for them. Then some of us that have already conquered the spiritual part of this is going to be in the victory lap. So anybody can be in a marathon, but are you in the victory lap? And that's where we at. And that's where we got to take our children to. So every time you get to messing with one, you know, I got to get this dude across the finish line if I got to carry him. You don't know the sensation of having a young person walk up to you 20 years from the day you talked to him in his high school, and he lift you off the ground and hug you, and he got kids and family and trucking business. And he remember, man, he used to come to my school. They put him on my page all the time. That cash came, rappers don't get that. You can't buy that. Sometimes they leave me in the streets in cardiac arrest. Killers. Man, Malik, man. I did a situation once with this little dude that was a blood. I believe he was from Queen Street. Don't quote me on it. But I did it on my show when I did that show. Peacemaker, LA Gang Wars on A&E. And the youngster pulled me to the side. He was a fly little Mexican dude. He had all the fly girls, the jewelry. He was a fly youngster, but he hung around blacks. And he pulled me to the side. He said, Malik. He said, OJ,
keep that shit going, what you got going, man. He said, we hard-headed, we young, we turned up. He said, man, but keep that shit going, man, no matter what, man. And he died like a week later, got murdered. But he pulled me to the side, broke my heart. My soul went into cardiac arrest. He was turned up, I can't think of his name. Had all the jewels, all the pretty girls and everything. He pulled me to the side and said, you keep that shit going. We youngsters, we turned out. We don't know no better, but you keep that peace thing going. And died the next week. That's the fuel for the fire. So don't give up. Nobody gave up on your ass or anybody in your listening audience. Because they did, you wouldn't be here. They locking our babies up at an alarming rate. Some of our babies won't get out to the UFOs and shopping at Walmart. It's serious like that. This is not a doomsday advice. This is just an enlightening to let you know when y'all got problems down in North Carolina, get me out there. Let me speak to the wildest youngsters. You take me to the wildest ghettos you got, or don't come get me. I want to go where the shooters at. Because Jesus Christ would have been, he wouldn't have been out there in the church. He would have been on the front line. Mm-hmm. And he'd been trying to stop killing the black people. From Martin Luther King all the way down to Malcolm X to Elijah Muhammad, to the white abolitionists that helped free the slaves. They'd have been out there trying to stop the killing or killings of black people. Period. And poor people in general. They didn't give a damn what race you are. They was here to save human beings. In North Carolina, you're not ready for 60,000 homeless people walking around the streets like they're doing in LA. Homeless and shitting on themselves and eating out the trash. Your people. Your auntie used to fry that good chicken. See, we watched them bring the crack cocaine to our neighborhood. We watched them. We watched them have black women have crack babies that were so small they held them in the palm of their hands on the cover of Time Life magazine. We watched it. I know Freeway Rick and them. I grew up with these dudes. Name a person in LA and they know me. Or better yet, they know our work. I don't run around doing the smut campaign and stuff because I go to 30, 40, 50 different neighborhoods a day, but it ain't no me just driving through. I have a license to operate, a LTO, and I advise you and your listening audience to get the same thing with them youngsters, a license to operate.
And what does that mean?
A license to operate is like you can go in the community and move with impunity. You can go talk to dudes. See the difference between, for example, and I love Mr. Mayweather and Muhammad Ali, like Mike Tyson said. Muhammad Ali can walk his kids to school. Mayweather got to have a bunch of bodyguards.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Muhammad Ali would walk his children to school by himself. These new dudes right now today got to have 100 bodyguards. Which one of them is you? There's three types of people in the world. Those that know what's happening, those that's watching what's happening, and those that don't know what the fuck is happening.
Mm-hmm. Facts. That's definitely facts. That's definitely facts, man. So you've seen a lot, and you definitely got a lot of wisdom. Now, do you have somebody who you plan on passing the torch to out there to continue your work? Because like you said, it's a marathon, but it's also a relay. You know, who are you planning to pass the baton to, you know, out there where you at?
You.
Okay.
Because you a teleport here to save one black life. So I'm going to nominate you and your listening audience. And we're going to pretend like we're in LA. Because man, ain't no worse feeling. For example, I had to deal with a little 14-year-old boy. God bless his soul. Some grown men ride down the street, brand new Cadillacs and some old stuff, trucks. Little boy hit him up with the gang sign. He riding his mini bike with his little dog chasing him. They chase him in the alley. They put so many bullets in this youngster when we found him to where he had his hands up like this trying to block him. He was 14. They had to put a body cast on him to bury him. This is what I'm telling you North Carolina ain't ready for. Then they had to pull his little brother out the mausoleum who had died before him of a natural cause.
while they hold the funeral to put him in. But when I went to the mama's house, me and my crew, to tell her son was dead in the alley, the little dog had obviously beat us there. The little dog sniffed the bottom of my shoe and took off and never came back because he smelled the blood on the bottom of my shoe of his partner. They'd be riding him down, shooting a mini bike, little dog chasing him. These are the type of compelling, hurtful stories that you guys are not ready for. Stop it. Go get your babies. Go roll you a blunt and sit down with your babies and get a plan for them for the next 18 years if that's the case. It's not difficult. Just do it. And stop black women running to that motherfucking child support. They are the destroyers of black families. Stop. Do what you got to do for real deadbeats, but don't make the child support office the new relationship police. Every time he get caught with his nuts somewhere else, you want to call the police, you want to call child. Stop that. It's not about you. Like they say in the Quran, did I not make the earth spacious enough for you? Could you have went the other way?
Wow. I like that. I like that.
Did I not make the earth spacious enough for you? So you could have went that way before you shot that fool. You could have went the other way. You had no chance of getting out the way. Or let me deal with him. You had no chance. Our babies are under arrested development. And that's why I was persistent to come on your show. And I love North Carolina. Them chicken and dumplings, them biscuits, that fried chicken, that good love, that red dirt, that clay, them rednecks on the other side of town with their guns in the back of their window, minding their business.
Yeah.
And Sheriff Buford J. Justice that'll give your ass 499 years.
Definitely.
In North Carolina. Get me down there, man, to the worst school you got. Make that radio station out there call in. Let me call in. The one that they listen to. Because see how there's 3 different types of frequencies. There's 4. There's AM, which intellectual giants be on, talking about politics and everything, truckers. There's FM, where they put Sexy Red on and have you twerking and smirking and dirking. Then you got satellite, of course, but then you got the microwave. That's the dude on the corner pop locking with the headphones on. He talking to himself. You wonder who's controlling this dude. These are the experiments that they put on our people, and you have to know this. And don't expect to get a bunch of views off this video because they're going to shadow ban you for this. So prepare for landing. They don't want this type of information disseminated. Absolutely not. But you don't stop piping. You get it to babies. And then you teach them young men how to keep a condom on their motherfucking private because they hitting us with all kinds of diseases. And then men have more abortions than women ever have. Because they got us now, they taught us all our women is nasty and got diseases, so keep a condom on. Meanwhile, everybody else reproducing. Mm-hmm. I done been to more funerals than weddings. That's not good. I've been to 2 weddings in 20 years. Wow. I've been to 250 gang-related funerals. Not including family and friends. Stop, North Carolina. Holler at your boy, Malik Spellman. I got you. If you got a baby, get him on the phone. Let me holler at him. If you got a shooter, get him on the phone. Let me holler at him. If you got a city councilman that want to get down, let me holler at him. If y'all got that medical marijuana down there, y'all need them license, social equity. Cut me in or cut it out. Because they're going to give it to the gray boys, everything. You got to go knock at their door. So when you go back, and like Nipsey said, you get it from here, then you go to the hood and give it right back. You get the wisdom from the hood and give it right back. Don't give up.
So another question, because you mentioned some personal stories about some young men. I remember a story that was I heard about, but I'm pretty sure you know about him. Yummy Zanderford. Huh?
No, sir, I've never heard that story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was like an 11-year-old. You know, he was supposed to be out there really, really, really bad, but I think he got shot up out there in LA. But that was early. I heard a lot of people talk about him, but he was so young.
He lost 24-year-old the night before last. I think we lost another one last night. I think we had 3 elders shot up the day the 24-year-old got killed. We have about 10 high-speed chases a week, maybe 15 deadly. Police stay shooting people out here. Do you really want to know?
It's the police.
It's everything that you see on the news is real. We are the cocaine capital of the world. And I'll let you figure out the rest. And we only 350,000 people in the population here in California is blacks. We're on the left coast.
250,000?
350,000 maybe our total population in California. And we killed 10 of them a week. We less than 3% of the population, if that. You got to understand what we're dealing with. They took all our homes and gentrified us, crack cocaine us. We had, when I came out, these communities was thriving because everybody that came from the South migrated out here, lived in Watts and Long Beach, and then they spread out. You got some of the most wealthiest blacks in the world live out here, not including entertainers and basketball players. We have 187 billionaires that live in Los Angeles alone. Hitler got a house in LA. Hitler. George Bush grew up in Compton. George Bush Sr., Compton, California. But do you see any of them people doing anything for poor people? Absolutely not. Then we got all the Katrina people left over. And our population, go to Google 6 and Julius, downtown Los Angeles. We were better off, no pun intended, on the plantation than we are right now, 6 and Julius, downtown Los Angeles, or over there in Philadelphia off of that damn street, Kingston Street. Downtown LA made Kingston Street look like the Brentwood Hotel. That's all black people. That's where the largest population of blacks in California are right now today, because they've been tricked out their house through the housing crisis, crack cocaine, gentrification, and a bunch of other shit that I don't even want to mention because it would be politically incorrect to say so. But it's true. We done had full-scale race wars out here, dude. Full scale. On site. So y'all ain't ready for that foolishness. You're not. You never seen a dude with the curly fries coming out his head. What is curly fries? When they hit him with them AK-47s and the brain skull got them curly fries like Jack in the Box coming out. So it's not what you think. Our youngsters are so traumatized to when I was doing some stuff once before with some kids trying to get them out of gangs. I took them to one restaurant that had the wrong word on it. It was Burger King, but they don't do BK because, you know, of course, it's disrespect to their game. So I took them to McDonald's. Then I took them, because it was city required, I took them to the mortuary where my boy was the mortician, where he do the autopsies and stuff. So he was like, Malik, we'll take him in the back and we're going to scare him with the body, because there was a youngster back there that had been killed in gang violence. So we took him back there and we pulled the thing back. We pulled it back. We pulled it back. One of them niggas say, blah, blah. There that nigga go, blah. We've been looking for that nigga. This man is dead. They were serious. I'm showing these young niggas that don't do that because this is the results. They done found one of their ops in the coffin. Had no mercy, no remorse. They didn't do it, but they said they've been looking for dude. So keep your children close to your vest. And if you hang with your homies more than your sons, you're out of pocket. If you love your homies more than your family, you're out of pocket. And if you love your hood more than your God, you destined to hell.
Let me open the door for my daughter real quick.
So to the listening audience out there, especially you mothers in North Carolina with your beautiful self, because my mama was born and raised in North Carolina. Y'all get hold of y'all babies, man. Don't let your babies bully you. And don't come in too emotional. Stop sharing your relationship problems with your children, your man, and your bills and all that. Don't do that.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. I sure appreciate the knowledge, man. We definitely gonna have to do this again. We coming up on about an hour. I normally don't like to go about an hour, past the hour. So, is there anything left else, that you want to share with the audience before we go?
Y'all look out for them UFOs with black people on them in the atmosphere. It's going down. Swing low, sweet chariot, swing low, baby. That's all I can do.
Okay. Hey, so we're gonna end this show, man. But I certainly appreciate you coming. If y'all want to get in touch with my brother, y'all see my number. You can call me anytime. But I thank y'all for joining. Make sure you share the live. But we definitely gonna bring Brother Malik back on, man. But I certainly appreciate you for your time, your insight, and your wisdom, my brother.
I appreciate you. What's the name of the radio station out there that everybody listen to?
92.1, 97.5.
To all you radio stations, 92.1, 97.5. To all you radio stations out there, reach out to this brother so we can get at our babies. I challenge y'all to that. I challenge you radio stations that got our babies hypnotized. Reach out and let us get a little hour show on there on a Sunday night so we can round up our children if you really care. If you community based. This is to the news, to the director of the radio station. We'll wait for your response. Now, if you write back and say, fuck you, don't do it, that's cool. But we had a show they called Peace Treaty. I had a show in LA, Gang Wars on A&E, stopping gang murders. I challenge your radio stations and your city councils out there to get at us, especially the ones that's in charge of the medical marijuana, so we can get some money.
Yeah, definitely.
We want out 7 days, 7 ways, top side up, ink still wet on the checks.
All right. Hey, appreciate you, my brother, man. We're going to get with you, all right?
Tar Heels, baby, out.
All right, peace. Thank y'all for tuning in, man.
North Carolina, holla at your boy.
Yeah.